I'm bringing stock in from other places too, just to try to keep things fresh. So you bring some color in that way, but it always seems to gravitate towards the darker type bees. So that
Yes.
tells me that they like that Carniolan type trait. And we're even seeing some Caucasian, and I'm colorblind. I can't see that red. Carrie can. And she says we're finding more and more of that coming in. So I think that might be
Okay.
coming in through the Saskatraz line. I'm not sure. Yeah. Where?
Yeah,
How
because
many hives did you? I just noticed your picture here. How many hives did you send through the hygienic test this last year?
two.
Oh wow! And that's
That's amazing. Eh?
yeah, that's pretty good. How'd your other one do?
Not as good as this. Not as good as this. And this was just when I got into the KRTP program, and I want Derek to come out because it's an outside set of eyes coming into my operation,
Yeah.
and I want somebody to come in and see this because, I mean, I think I'm doing okay, but I want someone else to come in and look at this and to help me along. And Derek came out, and he was really great to, he says, let's do this. And I says, yeah. And I said, wow, and he's like, yeah, that's pretty damn good. He says, I
Yeah.
don't know why, but we're going to do it next year for sure.
So that would
And keep
score
going.
probably a 95% or 97. That's pretty high. Or do you remember the
Yeah.
exact score on it? They're saying that hygienic behavior, it needs a score over 95% to actually have the hygienic traits. Um, I looked at my breeders. I had 15 in the yard. I had two that scored like that, just like that, 97%. And then I had the other three I picked were over 75%. So they weren't hygienic bees, but they were good. And then all the
Pushing that
rest of them
direction.
was just terrible. There were some that
Mm.
didn't even clean any of the cells out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe 3 or 4 years of doing this. I'm not specifically testing, or I'm not selecting for hygienic. I'm just adding that to some of my
Mhm.
selection criteria. So some of those poor scored hives still made our breeders because there's traits there I wanted to keep in. But after 5 years of adding this to the selection criteria, I think maybe we'll see. We'll see if it improves or if it doesn't improve. I'm not sure how that works, but it should, right? If it's inheritable.
Yeah, it was just a random test that came out in my favor. I mean, it was just a random thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to keep doing this. I mean, this could be even a trait, as far as I know, from the neighbor. I mean, to be frank, it could
Yeah.
be that my bees are breeding with his, and I know he has a different operation than mine. So
Yeah. And I've also followed the same thought of you to bring in outside eyes. With our farm, we hire an agronomist. We spend tens of thousands of dollars to help help us with our chemistries and our agronomy. And we do the same with their cattle business. We tap into the feed companies to help us with our nutrition. And then our vets, we hire in to help with, all the medications and all this. And I'm looking at my honey farm, and there's nobody there. Well, except for Real, of course, which is a huge
mhm,
resource to us.
mhm.
But we don't have an independent service provider to be able to give us some guidance, right? So with the whole intention behind this bee health monitoring program is just to provide a service for a guy to come out and just provide some guidance, provide some verified advice. Or what I'm trying to say is like just verifying what we're seeing to make sure what we're seeing is actually what we're seeing. And also I found within my operation is also provided a whip, because I know that Derek's going to come out the spring, he's going to come out in the
Mhm.
fall, and I want to, do my due diligence before he comes and provides his service work, and just use his service work to verify what I'm finding. And
Yeah.
without that whip, I wouldn't be doing it. It's just as
Well, yeah, because
simple
someone
as
else is
that.
coming in. So of course it's like you're having company, right? You want to make sure the house is clean.
Exactly. And it helped me so much
Yeah.
this last fall because we were so busy. The year just put us on our head, and I was doing tests, but I was just kind of doing it really quickly and not really thoroughly. I wasn't finding mites. I was just kind of superficial work. Oh, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then Derek come in and he tested. He said, Ian, you got a little bit of a problem. I said, oh shit.
Mhm.
So then I went through and I spent a full day testing thoroughly. And I said, oh, I do have a problem going on here. And then I implemented my treatment. And, sometimes I think this treatment, if you were able to catch it on the front side of the explosion of mites everybody seemed to find, If you caught it on the front side, I think the hives are preserved. If a lot of guys were catching it way too late and it compromised, I think I might have been one of those guys that would have noticed the problem later on spring up if I hadn't jumped on it right in the start. So it just, that whole program just adds so much. It's just hard to let somebody in and tell you, like you say, you're inviting somebody into your house, you got to clean up the place. It's intimidating, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's, you're investing. I mean, the other thing is I'm investing money into this, and I want to be graded. I mean, if I keep telling myself it's all wonderful, I mean, I'm just lying to myself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You've got to
right.
face your problems. Don't pretend they're not there.
Exactly. We gotta embrace it in a way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that the program's not going to be a savior or anything like that, but it's just a resource for us to be able to tap into. Another tool. Exactly right. And it's just somebody we can then bounce reflection on. Like, I'm the lead of the steering committee, and I'm the one kind of guiding the program along. So of course I'm going to be talking good about it. But one thing I like about how we have this program running is it's our arm's length of the association, and is run independently. So Derek is pretty much running the program as if it's his own business, and it's confidential. Like, he doesn't tell me shit. I have no idea of all these things that are going on, except for just the programs running, and he's got so many subscribers and he's finding issues, but he never tells me any of the specifics. So that's really important for beekeepers too, because that confidentiality is really important. If we have a problem festering in our hives, we don't want our neighbors to know about it, and to know that someone's going to come out and not spread it over all the countryside. It's important for the beekeeper to know that, because then they're more apt to tap into something like that, right?